Record on this. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming back to the podcast. I have a special guest today. Her name is Brooke Smith. We met online, TikTok, of course, and she has actually become a member of Consciously Creative, and I am so excited that she is here today. I'm going to have her introduce herself and her spiel. So go ahead, Brooke. Go ahead and say hi.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here. So hi, hello. My name is Brooke. I am a mindful branding, a web designer, and a mindset coach. Mindfulness and personal development is basically at the forefront of everything I do in life and business, because I believe a successful business and human is made through mindset work. And you can find me in all the typical places. So Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, at I am Brooke C. Smith. And then my website is reveryinspiredco.com.
Ooh, I love it. And of course, I will have your website linked in all of the social platforms where I'm like promoting you. I'm so excited. But while we're like here, and before I forget, I'm actually going to just take a quick photo. Ready? Cheers. All right. Thanks for that pause.
Send it to me, please.
I will. Okay. So, Brooke came out with this, okay, let me rewind really quick. So I have been obsessed with the fact that you are a mindset website designer. Like, I absolutely love that concept because not many people get it, but like the ones that do get it, you know,
like if you get it, you get it.
Yeah.
I love that we're both on TikTok.
So when I saw this Becoming Her project that you whipped out the other day or the other week, and I shouldn't say whipped because there's definitely some major thought put behind it.
There is, but I can share how it came to me because I promise it's not as organized as you think it is with the way that it came. It's so spontaneous.
Go right into it. Like literally just introduce it. Tell us all about it. Tell us how it came about. Yeah, all of it.
Okay. So the Becoming Her project, to give just like a brief like overview of what it is, and then we can dive deeper. But the Becoming Her project is all about becoming her. And like, it really is, it sounds like so simple, but we all have huge dreams. And like, I can definitely say with mine, like I'm very excited for them, but they can also be terrifying and paralyzing sometimes because I feel like a lot of people can relate to the fact that we'll like look around at our current environment and we're like, how the heck am I going to get up here when my life is down here? Like, how do I bridge that gap? And the answer to that is by becoming her every single day. And the reality is you're not going to create the life of your dreams. You're not going to become the person of your dreams unless you start taking action towards her every single day. And it starts with the smallest of actions. Like it literally can start with waking up 10 minutes earlier. Not that you have to wake up early to be successful. I hate that narrative, but that's just my example. It starts with taking small actions every day to become her. And it's starting to make decisions as her before you look around and feel like you are her, because that is how you become her. And I will probably say her so many times in this episode. So like, just brace yourself, but it's the idea of creating, it's not about embracing one habit into your life. It's about embracing the awareness of making decisions as your future self today.
And to be clear, you say her because you identify as her, but it could also be becoming them too, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And yes, 100%. And I've thought about that too. I say her just because I identify as her, but like, please insert pronoun.
Yeah, that's how I am.
Anyone.
Done.
Yeah.
100%. So, yeah. Okay. I love this concept. So you have this on TikTok, you've been like guiding us through your every day of how you become her. And what has been like the guidelines for that? And also like the struggles behind keeping to the guidelines.
So people have asked me this on TikTok, and I should probably make a video about it. One person asked if I had like a workbook or something I was following. And the answer is no. This is all very intuitive for me. I have my own practices on like figuring out what my dream self is and whatnot. And I can share like a journal prompt here if anyone wants it.
We love our journal prompts here.
We love journal prompts. Take this for morning pages one day.
Okay.
But so I'm going with my intuition on what feels good every day, because the reality for me, at least, is I do love a structure. I love a routine, but if I give myself too many parameters, I know I'm not going to follow through with it, if that makes sense. Like if I were to sit down, so the idea of this on TikTok is I'm documenting my journey every single day between now and the end of the year. And if I were to sit down and write 80, because it was like 83 days from the end of the year when I started this, 83 prompts for myself every day, I just know that would be setting myself up for failure because that's just too much to digest at one time. So if you feel like you want to start this journey, like don't sit down and think you have to come up with all 60 days worth of like actions for yourself. Like take it day by day, maybe plan 2 or 3 days if you want, but take it day by day. So what I've been doing is I'll wake up every day and I'm like, I literally go by how I'm feeling. So, 2 days ago, for example, this could be like a struggle. 2 days ago, for example, I just like did not get sleep for like 2 days straight. Like all of you mamas out there, kudos, because I just have 2 cats, you included. I just have 2 cats. And for the last night was the first night that I got good sleep all week. And because they've been waking me up every hour on the hour. Like, I don't know what they are on this week, but they are on a new one. Yeah. And I woke up this was Tuesday or Wednesday, hadn't slept. It was day 2 of no sleep at this point. And I was like, I have so much work to do today. I have a design day. I'm working on my sales page for my mindset coaching to officially launch. I had so much to do. And I was like, but I am literally falling asleep making coffee right now. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. So for becoming her, obviously some days you can't push away your to-do list. So for me, becoming her that day wasn't forcing myself to do stuff when I was tired. Becoming her was doing those things because I had to, but also making a point that day to like bring some sort of joy into my life, like treating myself to something. And that doesn't have to be a shopping spree. That doesn't have to be anything crazy, huge, or expensive. For me, it was literally going buy pumpkins at the grocery store because I want my husband and I to carve them this weekend and do like a little photo shoot. And so for me, becoming her was taking a moment, realizing how tired I was and realizing I needed to find something to bring me joy. So like becoming her doesn't have to be this big grand habit every day. It could be treating yourself as you know you would treat yourself in the future. I feel like I rambled. Let me know if that makes sense.
No, I know exactly what you mean. I'm a rambler too. And like, hopefully I'm like in the beginning of me speaking, I will always be like, oh no, I can see myself losing the point. Please come back to the point. Please come back to the point. But you came back to the point. And I love it. I think that that's great. And I think that the fact that there's no parameters, it's kind of like your own goal is awesome. But for the people that do need parameters, I'm wondering, and I'm putting you on the spot here, the prompts that you've already done, would you mind sharing them with me privately? And then I can, as I promote this podcast episode, we can be like, oh, and here it is. Here's some. Yeah. So hopefully by the time you're listening to this episode, there is a list on the blog post curated by Brooke. And and if you download that list, maybe you can go to her email list, or maybe it's just completely online and totally free. We don't know yet. We're figuring it out as we speak.
I'll share it. And what I'll do is maybe we'll save the journal prompt for that, because I have a journal prompt that gives you just a hack into your future, essentially. And because sometimes I think a lot of people are like, well, I don't know what I would do. And like, it's okay if you don't have exact answers about like what you would do to become her, but doing this journal prompt will kind of help break down what your dream day looks like. And then you kind of go from there. So
that's awesome.
I'll share that.
I like that. Okay. So I feel like Becoming Her project has more than just you on it, right? I thought I saw that.
Yeah. I was very pleasantly like shocked and surprised. That video ended up like taking off, or one of the videos that I've done, not the first one, actually, not when I introduced the project. It was like day 6 or something, ended up taking off on TikTok. And I feel like I sound like the typical person that was like, I didn't expect that video to do so well, but it did. And now I have people stitching the project and like going on their own journey. I've had people email me. I've had people like DM me and tag me in their videos. And like, I love it. So if you want to join the Becoming Her project, tag me. I want to cheer you on from the side. Like, this is for anyone.
And it's its own hashtag now too, right?
It is. I made Becoming Her project and the Becoming Her project. So it's technically the Becoming Her project, but I use both of them. So follow the hashtag if you want to join in, because I've had a couple people do it and I'm so excited about it.
Well, I'm going to do that right now because I didn't realize that it was its own hashtag that we can follow too. So is it on TikTok and Instagram that I can go follow it, right?
Right. It's on TikTok, Instagram. I transparently am still figuring out a little bit, just because I do have my mindful branding and web design business, and they are all one because I am one human and it's all me. But I haven't been blowing up my feed on Instagram with the videos every single day like I do on TikTok. So TikTok is where you're going to find my daily journey of this. That's where the hashtag is. Instagram, I'm going to do weekly check-ins. That's basically kind of where I'm at. Probably going live talking about it. So
love it. Oh, Becoming Her project just followed.
Yay!
Almost 200,000 views on that hashtag.
Shook.
I know.
Absolutely shook.
My favorite part about TikTok's hashtags is that it does views, not like videos. Do you know
Right.
what I mean? So like to see how many people have viewed it is so much more like relevant to me than how many people have used it. Cause I feel like anybody can like use it and get like a single view or a single like, but seeing the views is like very, very cool. So
and I feel like so many people are users of TikTok via viewing, not creating. So like you get to see how many people are actually consuming the content versus just the ones who also want to create with it. So it's really fun.
Absolutely. Okay. I just followed both of them and it's really cool too. Cause TikTok is like, join this hashtag, create a video.
Create a video.
Do it. I love it. Okay. So you said you're going to do this until the end of the year. What's your like goal, like the outcome? What are you hoping the outcome of this is?
So for me, let me give you a little background about why I started this too, because that will kind of give you insight into the outcome. So this is going to be a challenge, if you will, on social media until the end of the year, but becoming her is a mindset. I say that a lot. So it's really something that I'm going to take with me even beyond documenting it every day.
Yeah.
And it's probably something you're going to hear me say until the end of time. So sorry, not sorry if anyone gets annoyed with it, but, reason 100%. The reason I started it is because I'm obsessed with mindset work. I'm obsessed with personal development.
Oh my God. You just said I'm obsessed with myself. And I was like, yes, own it.
I am
For those of you unaware, I am partially deaf. So like we're fast speakers specifically. No, you're totally fine. I'm catching most of it. I'm not really listening. No.
I am Lorelai Gilmore, guys. I speak so fast.
Dude, I have captions on for you. You're good. So when I hear things that are like hilarious in my mind that I know for sure were not just said, especially if you know the person, that was awesome. So I'm going to have to ask you to restart that so I can actually understand what you were saying.
No, you're good. This is going into what my goal is, because my goal is no one specific thing. It's just about becoming her. And that's an annoying answer, but it's because the reason I started it is because I'm obsessed with mindset work and I'm obsessed with personal development. And I have my own business, mindful branding and web design, and I love it. I love it so much, but I am a multi-passionate person, have been my entire life. My first creative love was always makeup. I'm again, obsessed with mindset. Like when I started my branding and web design business, so I quit my corporate job a little over a year and a half ago now, or maybe a year and a half, something like that. I started branding and web design. And I think since it was my first business out of, the corporate world, it is my baby and I protect it as so. And I do love it. However, I knew when I first started that this wasn't going to be my forever. And, I do still do branding and web design and still enjoy it, but I just knew that like, this isn't forever. Like this is just what's going to get you started and it will probably stay in your life in some way, shape or form, but like, you're going to expand to other things because I have dreams of being a motivational speaker. I have dreams of like hosting retreats with people. I have dreams of having my own makeup line. Like there's just so much I want to achieve. And what's funny is with the motivational speaking part, anytime I've always said I want to have a TED talk one day. And anytime someone asks me like, what would you talk about? It never was branding and web design. And it's still not. It's always been more mindset focused. It's been breaking the mold of society and creating your own path. Like that is just what I'm obsessed with. So the reason this project started is because there's a very long story behind it, but to give you the like shorter one is I have known in my gut for a while now that I needed to start to explore more than branding and web design. Like anytime, when you're scrolling TikTok and people are like, this is for you if you're watching this video. And then they like say something and like 9 times out of 10, it's really not for you. But every time I would see a video that was like, you're holding on to something that you need to let go. Like web design went into my mind and it was just screaming at me. And like, I had tarot cards pulled and they were like, you're holding on to something that you really just need to let go. And then like, I'm in a money mindset program with someone and like that, the theme let go kept coming up in my life essentially.
Oh my
God. I was like,
you're speaking my heart right now.
Yeah, no, girl, this has been a journey. I like let go kept coming up and I was like, how do I let this go? I was like, this is how I make money right now. I do still genuinely enjoy it. Like I'm not ready to let this go. And I talk about being multi-passionate all the time on social media because I am. And I do walk my talk. I like share all of my passions. I'll make makeup videos. Like I do all the things. But what I realized is even though I do genuinely believe, like if you came to me right now and you were like, Brooke, this is what I do. I also love this. I would be like, hell yeah, you can do it all. You can be an underwater basket weaver and a motivational speaker. Why not? Like
an underwater basket weaver. You said that, right?
It's a thing. Yeah, it's a thing, by the way.
It is?
Dead serious. It's a
Okay,
thing. You got to Google
We're going to
it.
just take a quick pause from the podcast really quick. Underwater
basket weaving. You literally just like have your little scuba tank that you like. It was a class offered at my college.
Oh my gosh.
So now it's my go-to example if I need to think of something ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Google it ASAP. If you're like pause and come back, or listen to us like make fun, but like make fun of me for not knowing this is a thing.
I mean, it's not the average Joe job. So I don't think you need to make fun of yourself. Don't worry. When I saw it in college on like our curriculum of like options we could pick between, I was like, was this a typo? Is this real?
Some of these photos are hilarious though, because they're
funny.
like, I mean, some of them are also totally photoshopped where they're like professional swimmers, like holding up weave baskets. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Thank you for introducing that to my life.
You're welcome.
That is great. I didn't know that was a thing. I love being fully submerged in water. Like I was a swimmer in high school, and I just like, it's my thing to like, when you think of something like to recharge yourself, you usually think of like going for a walk or and I'm like getting completely soaked underwater and just like sitting there and seeing how long I can hold my breath.
Okay. Well, you know what? Maybe this is a new habit for you. Just, your kids walk in, you're in the bathtub weaving a basket in the water.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to, when we all become millionaires, I'm going to have indoor pool so I can just purely basket weave underwater.
Honestly, I require a gift from what you make.
Well, you're going to be there. Now.
We'll do it. But
oh man. Okay. Keep going. Sorry.
But no, that's okay. I'm a tangent person. I hope everyone enjoyed that. That shows my example though. Like if you came to me and you were like, I want to do these two things that are so completely far apart from each other, I would be like, hell yes. And you can do it all. We can find a way to make it work. And I do believe that for myself logically. But what I found was subconsciously, I was scared, so scared. I was like, I was allowing myself to go after my passions, but it was very much via hobbies, not professionally, even though my dreams require all of these to be professional in some way, shape, or form in my future. So having this overarching theme of everyone in my life telling me let go. And like, let me also note, the person who pulled my tarot cards, they don't know any of this. Like this is all internal battles I'm having in my mind and my gut. Like I've talked to my husband about them and like a couple close friends, but like very much not stuff that I'm public with because I don't want to be the web designer that says, I want to let go my web design business. Like that's terrifying. I'm not going to say that out loud. Like, I guess I did just now, but because again, like I still love it. So I was like, how do I let go? Like, what am I going to do? So I was like, how do I become her? And I was doing so much journaling, so much meditating. And I basically got to a point of surrender. You know how everyone says in manifestation, you got to surrender. I finally hit the wall of surrender. And I just had a moment where I probably journaled like 5 pages. And I was just like, I sounded like a crazy person if you read it back, probably. I was just like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I was like, God, universe, anything above. I was like, show me the breadcrumbs. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to let go of this thing that like pays my bills right now that I also don't want to let go because I still love it? Like, what's going to happen here? And immediately, like, I've been interested in mindset coaching for a long time. I even attempted to implement it like a year ago, and then imposter syndrome won. And I went, okay, I'm not ready. So this whole time I kind of had mindset coaching at the forefront, which this eventually feeds into becoming her. I had mindset coaching in the forefront and I was like, that's what I'm meant to do. But like, I still wasn't ready to like admit that to myself because imposter syndrome, it's real. But I just journaled and I was like, show me the breadcrumbs. And normally in these moments I ask, I was like, show me the breadcrumbs, because the reality is, even though I know I want to be a motivational speaker as well, even though I know I want to host retreats, even though I know I want to start a makeup line, I was like, I'm all about big dreams. I don't believe in pipe dreams, but like, I was like, realistically, I'm not starting this makeup line tomorrow unless someone wants to just give me like 300 grand to invest in starting a line like that. I was like, that's just not going to happen. And so I was like, show me the breadcrumb of what can I do right now to start to let go of web design. And also I had in my mind that it was very black and white. If I let go of web design in any way, it meant it was done and my business had failed and died. When that's really not true. Like let go can also just be like, release a death grip on it. So like what I've finally like healed and gotten to now is like my web design can still run and thrive and I can have so much fun in it, but I can also go after these other things professionally and include them in my business to where 1 week I do a website in a week. And then the next week I have like 6 mindset clients and that makes me, and then the next week I'm like going to speak somewhere. So normally when I'm journaling like this and asking for signs, I ask for like my 2 signs is I'm huge in angel numbers. So I'll ask for like 111 or the Eiffel Tower. That's like my other thing.
Wait, what's the Eiffel Tower?
Paris.
Oh, I thought you meant angel numbers. Like I thought like there was a number version called the Eiffel. I'm like, you're like dumbass. It's Paris.
No, I was like, Paris. No, you're fine. I'm like, Paris.
Oh my gosh.
Those are my 2 signs though. I'm either like, show me 111 or show me the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
But this time I was like, I'm not asking for a specific sign because I knew that I was going to look for it. So I was like, I don't know what the sign is going to be, but show me a sign and just make it one I can't miss. And the next day I woke up and I went to the store. I dropped my husband off at work because we share a car right now. Went to the store and I bought 4 things. And I bought 2 notebooks, a hair product, and cooking oil. Super random. It was TJ Maxx. And I tell you that because when I go to check out, the machine is like glitching. Like every time she's ringing something up, it's ringing up at a different price. It's like not right. And I like make a joke. I'm like, everything's on sale because it was all like a couple pennies cheaper. And she went, no. And I was like, okay.
Don't you love when they get mad at that?
I know. I'm like, I'm just awkwardly standing here while you're figuring it out. So I'm trying to like bring some levity to it. But
clearly I'm already awkward about this. Come on.
Yeah. I'm like, it's also 3 pennies. So couldn't care less if you charge me them, like it's fine. She finally gets us to charge, whatever. I walk out of the store. I'm not even out of like the breezeway of the store yet. And I look down and I realize, oh no, she mischarged me. She charged me for 3 notebooks and the cooking oil, but not the hair product. And for a split second, I, was like, well, you know what? The notebook is like $3 cheaper than the hair product. So like, yay, extra $3. Right. And then in another split second, I went, Brooke, you are still in the parking lot. Do not steal this hair product. She didn't charge you for it. I was like, it's $3. Like, come on. That is scarcity mindset when you're holding on to that. You know what I mean? So I turned around and I went back in and I was like, let me do the right thing. I was like, hey, you mischarged me. You charged me for 3 notebooks. I only got 2, but you didn't charge me for this. She fixed it. And the difference that I had to pay was $3.33.
Oh, get out.
And again, I love angel numbers, but that's not my normal one. So I immediately go, oh, hell yeah. And I Google it when I walk out and I just type in, I have to find the picture. I have it in my phone because I screenshotted it. I typed in 333 angel number meaning. Like that is all I typed in. I went too far back. What ended up coming up in Google is 333 angel number meaning in money. And I'm in a money mindset program right now. It's kind of things I'm focusing on, healing my mindset around that, business. And I was like, okay, well, I did not type in money, but that's really interesting. Okay. Hold on. I'm so sorry. I'm going to find the screenshot. I should have had it ready.
No, don't apologize. I'm excited for this. Keep us like on the edge of our seat.
On your toes.
Yeah. Also, great storytelling, by the way. I am literally so like, what's going to happen next?
Okay. Yeah. Cause I ramble. So always call me out. So I'm going to show this to you just so you know, I typed in, you can see this 333 angel number meaning. That's all I typed. And it came up as in money.
Oh, wow.
Like I didn't type that in and it's just what I've, so I'll read it to you. It says in numerology, angel number 333 is a message sent from your guardian angel that they are, hold on. That's not the right one. I apologize. I ended up looking at it again the next day and it switched the message. aha, this is it from the day of. Cause yeah, this is
Well, show it again. Cause if this
show
goes
it
on
again.
YouTube, yeah.
There you
Oh,
go.
okay. I was like, oh, does she know that numerology does not mean money? I didn't want to make fun of you, but
No.
now I can.
So yeah, now you can. So I screenshotted this, and then a couple days later, I never exited the tab on my phone. So a few days later, because I was like, no, I'm leaving this here forever because it was a sign. I went back later and the message changed. So that's what the second screenshot I showed you was. This wasn't it anymore, but this was the original one.
That's so weird.
Yeah. This is like in my camera roll. I can
read it out loud for everybody. Yeah.
Okay. So it says 333 angel number, meaning in money. The angel number 333 meaning in money is indicative of financial abundance. It may not take the form you initially think, however. The most prominent message of 333 is to rid your life of anything, situations, people, ideas that is no longer benefiting you. And for everyone to remember, the whole running theme in my life these days is let go.
Let it go.
So I read it and I was like, okay, I hear you. I see you. And then I went on with my day to run to my next errand, show up to the library. I'm walking to the library, not thinking anything of it. I look up as I get to the front door, and I'm going to show you this picture too. Here's the address.
Oh my gosh.
8333 for anyone who can't see. And I go, okay, I hear you. I need to let go. Like I need to let go of web design. So what does this mean? And of course, mindset coaching is coming up for me.
Right.
Like intuitively, that's what I'm like. I know this is what this means, but I don't want to hear the answer. So I'm like, okay, threes everywhere. I get it. Go on with my day, hop on the phone with one of my friends I'm just like, oh my God, Kelly, this is what's happening. Blah, blah, blah. I had a tarot reading last night and they were saying this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like going on about the threes, and she stops me because she was releasing a course at the time and goes, Brooke, I need you to stop for a second because I was about to talk to you about the price of my course. I decided to make it $333. And I'm like, okay, more threes. Get off of that phone call, hop on into the next phone call I have for the day, and hadn't told this person anything about what was going on. She randomly in the middle of our conversation just stops and goes, oh my God, it's 333. And I'm like, okay, I get it. So that is my like day of, and there was more threes that continued throughout the day. So that was my day of signs where I was like, I get it. I need to let it go. I need to let go. I got it. So I finally leaned into like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to launch mindset coaching. And I was like, but what does that look like? So quickly fast forward to the next day. And this is where the Becoming Her project was born, or this actually may have been like 2 days later. I'm doing a sound bath healing meditation. And I go into the meditation with the intention of how am I going to implement mindset coaching? How do I want to do this? What do I want it to look like? I was like, what tangible things? Again, I got to the moment of surrender with the universe and was like, what am I going to do? How do I make this happen? How do I start today? And this is really random and not at all what people probably think came up for me, but I didn't have this beautiful vision of like, you know, the Becoming Her project and being on stages. No. For the entire hour-long sound bath healing, I envisioned myself organizing my pantry and my closet. Like the most, and I literally during it, yeah, you can laugh because I literally like after I was like,
but I get it though too, because like honestly, when I'm like, I'm going to interrupt again, but honestly, when I am like trying to become the worker, the person that I want to be, what is the first thing I do? Clean my home.
Thank you. Because your environment matters.
It does.
So yeah. I'm organizing in this whole meditation. I'm like, how am I going to do it? How am I going to be this amazing mindset coach? Like I'm going in, I am ready to learn. And I just organize my closet and my pantry in my mind. And I'm like, what the actual? But by the end of the meditation, at this point I had organized my whole house in my mind, and I come out of it and I journal. And then I just very intuitively start writing like Becoming Her. Like those are the words that come up. And that is where it was born. I literally realized I was like, you know what? I always tend to like be very masculine in the energy of my business and going like masculine energy versus feminine. I was very much wanting to like envision and meditate on like tangible things I can do in my business to move me forward in mindset coaching or web design, whatever it is. And when creating a space that I felt more confident and more like her in came up, it just kind of a light bulb went off in my head. And I'm like, the Becoming Her project, that's why I say it's really not about a specific habit. It's really not about anything specific. It's about embracing the awareness and the habit of making decisions as your future self. Because just like you said, in my future best self, I envision a perfectly organized home, one that still looks lived in, but like, I
Mhm.
want the really cute, like, everything unbagged in my pantry and cute glass jars, which I had started that project forever ago and never finished it.
Mhm.
So I think that's why the pantry came up specifically. Like, I want the cute color coded and organized closet. Like, in my future life, everything is nice and in its place like that. So the Becoming Her project, it's about taking small steps that get you closer to your future self, no matter how tiny they are. They're not always going to be huge and you quitting your job. Eventually, hopefully those are the ones that come up, but like, it doesn't start with quitting your job, or it doesn't start with applying to speak on a stage. It's literally starts with it can go bleed into everything, like just
Mhm.
creating a life and a space that is her. So
Mhm.
that is where it came. So that's why my goal for this is really just to get closer to being her,
Yeah, I
which is
love it.
taking steps towards mindset coaching, and all of it's happening. So I'm
I
just
love
putting
it.
myself out there.
Yeah. So to be clear, you're keeping your web design company.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
See, when I went
Yep.
through this like let it go, let go, let go moment in my life, I was like, do I want to keep doing the do you know I was a
Mm-hmm.
graphic designer?
Yes.
Okay, just making
I
sure.
wasn't sure like where you stood with it today fully,
Yeah.
but yes.
So, well, I think that's where like my organizational templates are really coming into play is because of my
Mhm.
love for design and line work. Um, But when I went through this moment of like, am I going to let go? What businesses am I letting go of? Because I had three at one point.
Mhm.
It was Her Messy Bun was the final one, but it was my candle business and my graphic design business as well. And I just was like, I'm going to sell the candle business, sold it. And
Mhm.
then I was like, I'm going to keep the graphic design business because I would love to be able to just keep doing that. It's a lot of work to do both, you know?
So much work. Mhm.
And so maybe eventually I'll go back to it, but like right now, like in some way, find ways for Her Messy Bun to like reap those design benefits for my clients and stuff. But right
Mhm.
now I'm just like, I'm like the critiquer now, like I'm the
Mhm.
consultant behind the design. I have a lot of clients that come in for that part. So like, I'm
I love
proud of you
that.
for holding on to it because I know how hard balancing the both of them are. And it's not an easy task. Those are two
No.
huge businesses, and I just like really want to like give you the props for that because wow.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm figuring it out. I'm still
Yeah.
figuring out exactly how I'm going to balance it, but like, I think a relevant thing to mention here too is like, for anyone listening, like, nothing that you do in your life and have done is a waste. And I feel like everything happens. I hate the saying, but it's true. Everything happens for a reason. I had tried to implement mindset coaching into my business like a year ago, and it just didn't, like, imposter syndrome got the best of me. It just didn't work. And I really also didn't try that hard, honestly, because of imposter syndrome. However, at this point in my business, I was only doing custom design work, which was like multi-week projects, like 2-month project, like bigger projects only. I hadn't set myself up in the way that I have now in my business, where I have a service called Website in a Week. It's a much faster turnaround. It's really fun, really great. But if I would have tried to implement mindset coaching in the way I am now a year ago, or if I would have succeeded in it, I don't think I would have been able to balance both of them, because it would have been too many big projects that are it would have just been too much. Whereas the way I have myself set up in my business now, I have Website in a Week, I have design days, I have longer projects still, but I feel like I can more concisely organize my calendar in a way that's like, this week we are in the web design world. I have a Website in a Week, and next week I have blank amount of mindset clients, but I'm not doing web design next week. So all that to say, like, everything that happens in your life happens and plays out the way it needs to, because the way I've set myself up in my design business now is probably the only reason that I can move forward and balance both. I wouldn't have been able to a year ago.
So did you hire any coaches or anything like that to help you set that up, or were you just powering through on your own?
I definitely have had coaches.
Okay.
I recommend coaches for sure.
Perfect. So that's going to lead me into some of my usual questions that I ask business owners. So this is a
Mhm.
different interview than I've done in the past. So for those of you that are listening, you know, I tend to ask like the same questions, like what was your journey? Can you give 3 tips and all that stuff? But this Becoming Her project, when I saw that, just really sat on my heart and like gave it a big hug, because for those of you who don't follow every single thing that I do online, last year I was like, I went through a miscarriage and I was like, you know what, changing your life in 6 months, like this like concept like came up of like, you can change your life in 6 months. And I was like, maybe this, like, I got to like month 3 and I'm like, I don't think that this is for me. And I want to find somebody that has this concept in their world and in their brain where I can just enjoy it versus make it. And so as soon as I saw the Becoming Her project, I was like, this is going to be the hug that I needed.
Oh, that just made my day. Yay.
So, and I think there's a lot of passion projects out there that a lot of people have that, you know, just because you don't have the time for it doesn't necessarily mean that, that's a bad thing. It might mean that you are just meant to be able to absorb and somebody else's version of it because it'll benefit you more. And I think that that's what this is going to be for a lot of people. So I'm really excited to see how it all like plays out.
Thank you. I'm excited. And like for anyone who does kind of just a last little tidbit for the Becoming Her project, like I don't have pre-done prompts. However, I do send, if you sign up for my email list, like I send monthly, sometimes bi-monthly or bi-weekly emails with what I have done in that time to become her and giving you some ideas, tips and tricks, visualizations, things like that. So definitely join the email list if you want, those more tangible prompts. But just follow my journey every day on TikTok and that could give you ideas of where to start if you don't know, because Becoming Her is different for everyone. And if you see me do a prompt, like one of the ones that I'm going to do tomorrow is, again, haven't slept much this week. So we're getting ourselves back together. So tomorrow morning, I'm getting back to my 6 a.m. wake ups. If you see that and go, I hate when people wake up early, then don't do it. Everyone's journey looks different.
Yeah, exactly. I woke up at 6 a.m. today and I don't recommend it for anybody.
There you go.
It was on accident that I didn't actually wake up at 6 a.m. I was up at 3 a.m. I got out of bed at 6 a.m. But that's the life of a parent of 2 that decided to be sick again out of nowhere. Anyways, I digress. I'm going to pull up the questions really quick because I had them. And then you just like totally like absorbed. I was so absorbed with everything you were saying. I put my phone down and lost it. So seconds. Okay, so my usual questions. You definitely took us on the ride of your self-employment journey and the route that you took and all the decisions. So I'm going to bypass that usual one that I ask. And I'm going to go into, I think we know what your values are of your business. You like totally went there, but the 3 big pieces of advice I usually ask for early stage entrepreneurs in your field. However, you have 2 different major fields going on right now. So I'm going to ask, just let's stick to the Becoming Her project. What are 3 big pieces of advice for people that are like, there's absolutely no way I can do this, to like, I really want to do this. I just don't feel like I can actually hold myself accountable for it. Does that make sense? For that person that feel like they can't hold themselves accountable.
Yeah. So I would say you never feel ready. And like, this is for early stage entrepreneurs in the Becoming Her project, but also just, this would go for anyone. You are never going to feel ready, like literally ever. I still don't feel ready to have a business technically. Like if you like, we all still have imposter syndrome sometimes. So just get started. That's one thing that I'll say. And another big piece of advice I would say is, you don't have to have it. Well, actually, this kind of goes with first. You don't have to have it all planned out to get started. It can start with the smallest things, because 1% action every day is greater than taking 100% action one day. It is going to add up and compound more over time, and versus having
more sustainable too.
So much more sustainable. Which leads me to piece of advice number 2. Do not feel like by holding yourself accountable to like, the Becoming Her project, taking 1 action every day, not every single action for each day has to be different, because the reality is if you put too much on your plate new at one time, like I'm going to wake up at 6, I'm going to quit my job, I'm going to start my business, I'm going to read 6 books a month, I'm going to do blah, 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 blah. You're not going to keep up with all of it. If there's too much new going on in your life at one time, you are going to, and if you don't, then kudos to you. I would internally freak out and like not be able to keep up with it. So the piece of advice I would give is like, pick 3 goals. Maybe it's, I want to get back into reading more personal development books. I'm just going to use personal development as an example because it relates to the Becoming Her project. Or I want to wake up earlier or go to bed later, because some of you are night owls, but again, pick one. You can't be both of them.
It's not healthy for your brain.
Yeah, you just become a tired afternoon pigeon if you do both. Like it's not, that's what I call it. When I find myself in like the swing of being an early bird and a night owl, I'm like, I'm just a tired afternoon pigeon at this point. Like we're not thriving.
Love it.
So like pick your 3 goals and stick with those for the first like month to 2 months of this project, and like make every day becoming her being sticking to these 3 goals or rotating through them throughout the week. If you try to take too big of a bite at one time, it's just going to become not fun anymore. Whereas if you can give yourself 3 smaller goals to focus on during the Becoming Her project, and you can actually see yourself achieve them because you made it bite-sized and realistic and sustainable, you're going to be way more proud of yourself.
I love that.
And yeah, it makes a difference. And then my third piece of advice is this is going to help with accountability. Figure out how you best respond to something. Some people respond best with positive reinforcement, and some people respond best with negative reinforcement. I don't personally understand the negative reinforcement one because I'm definitely a positive reinforcement person. And actually ensure that you celebrate yourself throughout this process. And the reason I say figure out which reinforcement style is yours, if you're someone who is better held accountable by going, okay, if I'm going to stick to this for 30 days, and if I don't, then I don't. Okay, I'm thinking back in high school, like when your phone got taken away, when you like didn't do something you were supposed to. You're probably not taking your phone away as an adult, but like
you can't get your manicure then.
You can't get your manicure. Yeah, you can't get your manicure. You can't go get your hair dyed. You can't go on that trip next month. Like figure out if you're a negative reinforcement person, and the idea of losing that opportunity or experience or what, or that money, like whatever it might be, is going to be what holds you accountable. And if so, apply some negative reinforcement in your life. And if you're a positive reinforcement person, because I was actually talking to my little sister about this yesterday. If you're a positive reinforcement person, maybe every day that you actually show up and take an action to becoming her, you put $5 in a jar. And then at the end of the month, you have whatever 5 times 3 is, what, $150 to go treat yourself to something. Maybe it's that restaurant you've been wanting to go to. Maybe it's like a new outfit, but figure out what your reinforcement style is going to be for yourself and actually stick to it. Because I think a lot of times, especially as adults, like we try to hold ourselves accountable for things, but it's kind of like an endless cycle of accountability where there's no celebration going on throughout the entire thing. And that, I don't know about you, but that just becomes really exhausting for me. Yeah. Like I need to acknowledge when I've actually followed through with something I've said I was going to do.
Yeah. I'm very similar in that aspect. I try to celebrate all of the small things, like, and a lot of morning pages prompts, you'll notice, like, I will like make you guys dig. And then out of nowhere, it'll be like, okay, let's celebrate and like figure out like what we can celebrate today. So yeah, I'm definitely the same way. And I try to make sure that like I implement that for other people as well. Those are 3 great pieces of advice. I see that you want to say something else. Go ahead.
I have one more.
Okay.
One more.
Do it.
If you're finding success in something throughout this project, I just want to make the note, because I needed to hear this a year ago. If it doesn't feel good, then it's not worth it, and it's not going to bring you happiness, no matter how much money you make doing it or whatever it might be. So if you see me, I did kind of say this earlier, but if you see me doing a prompt that you're like, I don't want to do that, but you feel like you have to do that to become successful, then like, I just want you to throw that prompt out the window. Like this is all a very personal journey, and we're all different humans, and that's really cool and exciting. So like, don't think that you have to follow steps 1 through 3 to be successful, because steps 1 through 3 are different for every person on this planet. Yeah.
I love that. I have a saying where I'm always like, if it's not 100% yes, it's a definite no. And that's just because like it's probably not the same way for everybody yet, where if it's not 100% yes, it's a definite no. But I promise you, the more that you like start noticing like the things that you end up giving up, those things that you ended up giving up most likely were not 100% yeses. So anyways, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing all of your tidbits and pieces of advice, and especially like getting like the dish on the Becoming Her project. I can't wait to see like what comes next. I know you were like, I know this is like the challenge that turns into the coaching and all of that world, and I'm just so excited to see what comes out of it. So thank you so much for letting everybody get a sneak peek behind the scenes. There is one more thing that I wanted to mention to you or ask you, and I lost it. I guess it's not meant to be. It's okay.
No
Anyways,
worries.
if there is, and if you guys that are listening have any questions whatsoever about becoming her or need extra accountability about becoming her, go ahead and follow, make the accountability being that you follow and check in on Brooke's TikToks and check like when her videos go up, because they are going up every day. She has them counting down or counting up, I should say.
Yeah.
And maybe the accountability is that you like said, did mine or did this, like, and you just like have the conversation with her, because she is very communicative on social media, very social on social media, which not everybody is anymore. So yeah, if you need to use Brooke as an accountability or her TikToks as accountability, go ahead. I'm sure she would be more than happy to be there for you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like DM me. I transparently, I'm not great on TikTok DMs. I honestly don't understand them. Like where if someone's, I don't get them. So if you ever want to like just message me, DM me on Instagram. I would love to chat. And like, if you do want more support, like the Becoming Her project, if you want more support, I have one-on-one mindset coaching that I can do with you. And that would be really fun. Or we can just have a quick combo in the DMs if you'd prefer. But the Becoming Her project is for you, whether you want to just be a part of the free challenge or enter into mindset coaching, like it's for anyone. So 1% action. That's all I ask of anyone doing it. 1% action every day.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Thank you again so much. I'm going to say goodbye here, but to everybody that's listening to this right now, thank you so much for listening to the entire episode. I hope you guys had just as much fun, if not more than we did. We had some good tangents going off. And if you did listen to this point, I would like for you guys to just DM or message me or Brooke with a basket weaving meme or sentence or some form of joke, so we can see who listened to the very end. I really appreciate it. And again,
please tag me in basket weaving stories.
I know, or share this episode and just say hashtag basket weaving becoming her. That would be great. And for those of you that are listening still, I'm going to make sure that all of Brooke's links are tagged in my stories and my highlights, I believe they're called on Instagram. So go ahead and check that out over there if you need to be connected with Brooke and can't remember what her handle is. Thank you so much for being on, and I will see you in morning pages. Bye guys. Thank you.
Thank you.